was, quite a speech you gave in there. You probably could sell oil to the Arabs.
Well, sounds like maybe I ought to keep my mouth shut.
No, no. You said some things I needed to hear. Why you ran away so quickly?
Well, I wanted to give you a chance to kind of digest what I said, because I know that sometimes I have a tendency to rush things.
On the other hand, we don't have time to dawdle. I mean, you're always saying that.
Now, doggone it, if you're going to start on that age business, I'm going to head on home.
Well, if you hold your horses long enough for me to get my toothbrush, I'll come along with you.
Okay. Wow!
Saw a man with a more self-satisfied look.
Yeah, well, let me get a mirror. I'll get to look at yourself. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can hardly believe last night happened that you're here with me.
I slept in the bed, surrounded with these things.
Well, I can take them down. It won't take me 5 minutes here.
No. I wouldn't want you to do that. Would you hang your hat?
Don't need no hat. I'm prepared to go without a hat, without a shirt, without boots, without anything, if it please you.
I'm pleased as it is.
Yeah. I got you.
Oh, you did. Wish I could stay here all morning. Because I have other roosters besides you to feed back there in my barn. Yeah, I do. My children haven't had any breakfast.
Well, they can get their own breakfast. They're adults.
Yeah, well, I still fix it. Whose guitar is that?
Oh, that's my old guitar.
It isn't.
Yes, it is.
You play it?
Well, I used to. But I'll tell you what. You have inspired me to pick on it a little bit.
That's pretty.
Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. Share all my dreams with me. 'Cause I need you so. In life we search. And some of us find. And I've looked for you long, long time. And now that I've found you, new horizons I see. So come take my hand and walk through this world with me. Come take my hand, Emma, and walk through this world with me.
Good morning, Mom. Coffee's all made.
Oh, thank you very much. Sweetie, you know, Jess made a point of telling me that there's no reason for you to be down at the courthouse today for jury selection.
Yes, I do, Mom. You want to see who's going to be deciding my future.
Oh, this is just all so wrong. I mean, you should be off having fun at college with all your friends instead of going to court and waiting for a jury to be selected.
It's kind of hard to have fun when you got a murder conviction hanging over your head.
I know. I know. But, you know, pretty soon this is all going to be over, and you will never have to hear your father's name again.
I doubt that. I'll always be a Stembeck, and nobody will ever let me forget it.
Is that what Greta Aldrin said in her letter to you?
I don't want to talk about my grandmother. I told you that letter wasn't important.
Well, I still want to read it.
You can't. I threw it out already.
It's getting late. I better get my stuff, okay?
Look, Ma, you don't have to be there with me today.
I want to be there, Paul.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Paul.
I needed to talk to you. You're the only one I don't have to hide anything from.
Paul, you have to remember, we told the truth about the important things. The only things we didn't tell them are private. It's none of their business.
It's the only thing in my life that's still private. Everything's plastered all over the newspapers and the TV news.
I wish that I could change places with you, Paul. I'll never forget what you've done for me, and I'll always love you for it.
I'll always love you, too. That's what's gonna get me through this mess.
Get off the phone, Emily. Brock, it's good to have you back in your own office. What's this?
Since when is my private line tapped?
Well, I haven't. Of course, I recorded my own calls when I temporarily took over the day-to-day operations. I forgot to take it out. I guess my memory must be going. That's why I recorded my calls.
Well, I've checked the rest of the office. It's clean, so we can talk. What do you want to talk about?
I see that Benedict has started jury selection. I'm glad you're not back in Oakdale. This is no time to be anywhere near Emily Stewart. What do you have on the Harper situation?
I'm handling it.
Well, you better handle it soon.
Either I'm handling it or I'm not, Papa. You tell me which.
Excuse me, Mr. Lombard. There's a Roz Kelly from the IRS to see you.
Now, wait, the IRS checked the books a month ago.
Well, then it's just some clown looking for a promotion. Our books are clean. Fine, tell Miss Kelly I'll see her.
I trust the Pickwick material is in the safe.
When are you going to give me some credit, Papa?
When you earn it. Handling the Harper situation will be a big step down that road.
Miss Kelly, how nice to meet you. My name's Brock Lombard. This is my father, Philip.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Lombard. You're invited to appear as a witness for the prosecution in the state of Illinois versus Paul Stenbeck. Details are enclosed.
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by the Formula 44 family of cough medicines from Vicks.
Paul, you can't let this trial take over your life. You've got to find some time to have some fun and get your mind off of it.
That's what my mom just said. You know, the most fun I ever had was with you this summer.
Paul, it was a special time for me, too, but you'll have plenty of time to make new memories. That's the great thing about life. Oh, Sean is here. I have to go, okay?
Okay, listen, can I call you after the jury selection?
Of course you can. Take care of yourself.
You too. I'll talk to you later. Were you listening?
No, I just didn't want to interrupt. But I gathered that that was Emily.
We weren't talking about Emily, remember? It's probably Jess. I'll get it.
Yeah, we're not talking about much of anything these days.
As I said, it can be a very long and tedious process.
Yes, I do. I want to see how this thing works.
And I do, too.
Mom, you don't go, please. You're just going to make me more uptight.
It's not exactly what I had in mind.
I'm sorry, Mom. Just come by at lunchtime or something.
Look, we better get a move on. You about ready?
Yeah, let me just get my jacket and tie.
Okay. Is Emily going to be there today?
No. You seem relieved.
Oh, I am relieved. This whole thing has given Paul a very unhealthy dependency on Emily. The kind of obsession that reminds me of James.
You know, we ought to look and see if we can learn to be more self-sufficient, Emily. Do you give lessons, Sean?
Only to the most beautiful woman in the world, and you, madam, might be overqualified. You I don't know about, so.
Oh, I'm gonna go get ready for work, and then you get to drive me there.
Thank you. It must be nice having your granddaughter stay with you for a while. Somebody has to take out the garbage. That's fine.
It is, although I wish it were for a happier reason than her apartment being sealed off by the police because it was the site of a murder.
I guess this Stenbeck's kind of a nasty fella, huh?
Oh, he was the worst. Putting it mildly.
You know, I just can't imagine Emily with a Stenbeck guy. I mean, she's young, she's got brains, she's real good looking. I just don't get it.
I agree. Well, I'm just glad she's seeing this nice Brock Lombard now.
I wish you'd never laid eyes on Emily Stewart. This could put everything in jeopardy. Could be just the opening Benedict's been waiting for. It was that picture in the paper. That was it. That was how he found out, wasn't it? Why didn't you break the guy's camera?
I don't think that's the kind of image we want to promote to you, Papa. Besides, I ran into Jason Benedict in a restaurant in Oakdale.
And you never bothered to tell me. Now,
Really,
now
I
listen.
don't think it's necessary to enumerate everything I do.
Now listen, Brock. I don't want you seeing or talking to Emily Stewart again. There's no way to let her down gently. I want you to break it off.
I've already told you I'm not going to do that.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Did you ever think that if I break off with Emily Stewart suddenly, that Benedict is going to think he's really onto something?
You may have a point. It's a tricky situation.
Mike Foley's been subpoenaed, too.
Is there anything else you haven't told me?
No.
Now, Brock, I strongly advise you to curtail all contact with Miss Stewart.
Would you like to test out the finished products?
You do the honors. I'm gonna get the tea kettle.
All right.
Oh, Sean, would you mind?
Brilliant, Baxter. Brilliant. Stewart residence.
Dr. Stewart. Well, welcome back. This is Brock Lombard.
Well, hello, Lombard. This is Sean Baxter. Gee, Emily's in the shower right now, and, well, you know how women are. Why don't you call back in about 5 minutes, huh?
No, I can't, Baxter. Tell Emily if she needs to get a hold of me for any emergencies to leave a message at my home, not to call me at the office. The number's 555-3721.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Emily.
What?
Brock just called, and he said if you want to reach him, do not try him at the office, try him at home. There's his number.
Why don't you two have coffee together at home, huh?
Good morning to you too, Lieutenant.
Boy, look at this. I got a robbery on 3rd to investigate, a case of suspected product tampering, a wave of vandalism in Mount Olive Cemetery. I can't take time off for a physical this morning. What's your dad's office number?
Lieutenant McCloskey, take your hand off that phone.
How did you get here?
I was afraid this was happening, so I have come to drive you to your appointment.
I can drive myself.
I know you can, dear, but I'm taking no chances. I'm not letting you out of my sight.
Good for you, Graham. Really, Lieutenant, we can spare you for a couple of hours.
Oh, this is a conspiracy. That's what this is.
Yes, and you'd better start investigating it. Meanwhile...
Are you going to be that good to me when I become a bit cantankerous?
When you become a bit cantankerous? I know that you were having a hard time understanding why I gave Hal permission to tell his father, but if you could just see how important it was to Hal.
I realize I reacted a bit emotionally, like I do sometimes with Duke and Leanne.
I know. I saw your face this morning when Duke called her for breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast. I have a feeling this is just the beginning.
Well, will you please tell Mr. Reyes that I'm going to Chicago out of town on business, and I need to talk to him before I leave. All right.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
I wouldn't count on Tonio giving you the straight scoop on Craig.
Caleb, I don't need to hear this. What I need to hear is some verification that Craig's coming home alive. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Hey, guess where I just was?
Where?
I went over to Cal's to talk about reseeding the upper pasture, and all his doors were locked.
So what?
So Cal never locks all his doors, and I bet you anything, Mama's not upstairs. I know she's not in the barn. She's not in the fields. The pickup truck is still in the driveway.
Caleb, what are you saying? No.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning.
Mama, did you make yourself some breakfast? And
No.
No.
you didn't.
Coffee? You want some coffee?
Yes, I have some coffee. I'll make you some breakfast in a minute.
Well, I reckon you're both wondering where your mama spent the night.
No.
No, well, we figured that was Mama's business.
It is.
Well, I only brought it up because I thought they ought to know that my intentions are entirely honorable. We're going to get married.
When was that decided?
You want some tea?
Hello? Yeah, Tonio, she's right here.
Is it Tonio? Hi, Tonio. Have you heard any news from Craig?
All I can tell you, Ellie, is that the pilot got Craig into Montega and then returned to Miami.
He left him in Montega? Well, how's he supposed to get out?
Well, Duke, the least I could do in return for this magnificent repast is to clean up the dishes. And maybe a few other things.
Wow, thanks a lot. You're the best. And if you want, I'll repay the favor someday and clean up your mess.
What?
Well, yeah, actually, your place is never really messy. How do you do it?
She has a neat husband.
No.
Oh,
That's a while, just the dishes,
All right,
okay?
John. Listen, I
And
may...
listen.
What?
You don't have to be John's wailing wall, you know.
Okay. I may see you later. Your mom's very concerned about Mac's examination, so I'll come over and sit with her.
Okay. See you later.
So long, Bob. Well, Pop, thanks for coming over for breakfast. And if you want, I'm there for you anytime, you know?
I know that. Thank you. I remember.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Kids, bye.
Duke's a good boy.
He certainly is. You have two fine sons.
Yes, I do. I don't know how much I had to do with that. It's kind of funny, you know, the argument that I was using with Andrew for being with Susan was that, well, we're adults. You know? I think I qualify only in age. I seem to have lost control of my life here lately.
What's the matter with you? I've never seen you like this. What happened to the old fighting spirit?
I think it's down in Montega with Lucinda.
You know, pal, it seems to me the first thing you ought to do is figure out how you feel about Lucinda.
It's very difficult to do. She's an impossible woman, you know.
Well, you are not exactly a pussycat yourself.
Probably why we got married in the first place. Probably why we fight so much as well. It's strange. What attracts also drives you crazy. She probably is affected the same way by me.
So where does that leave Susan?
I'm very comfortable with Susan. She supports me. She's understanding with me, with the boys. I don't want to take advantage of her. I'm staying at the executive club. When Lucinda gets back, I'm really going to have to make some decisions.
Hi. Hi, Scudder said you were over. Yeah. Hi, John.
Hi, Barbara. Well, I got to get back to the hospital.
Listen, I know this is really frustrating for you. Can't you get some information from Tonio?
I could pay him for it, I'll bet you. I wouldn't trust him, though. Thanks for letting me bend your ear.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Mama.
Goodbye, kid. Well, I thought you would be over at the courthouse for the jury selection.
Paul doesn't want me there. He's pushing me away, Kim. I'm so scared that now on his death, James is finally going to be able to take Paul away from me for good.
Gives us a chance to question each prospective juror and excuse anyone who we feel might have a bias. I don't want anyone on our jury who won't understand what you went through because of your father, or who might be prejudiced because you've grown up with certain advantages.
Advantages. Here they are. Look at Mr. Benedict. He's already convinced that I'm guilty.
Well, Paul, he has to be if he's going to convince the jury.
I don't understand, Jess. I mean, the night I shot my father, I told the police exactly what happened. And everybody, including Tom, said that it was justified. I didn't even have to see a judge. What went wrong? Why did Hastings go after me in that grand jury room?
That kid is hiding something. Every time I see him, I'm more convinced of it.
I think you're right. But what?
I don't know. I've got some ideas. But getting him to talk is another thing. Ah! Here's my patient.
I'm sorry we're a little late, dear.
How long is this going to take, Bob?
I have a standard answer for that. The sooner we get started, the sooner we'll be through. Let's go.
I'll be waiting right here for you, and I know everything's going to be all right.
Well, if you're so sure everything's going to be all right, why make me go through it?
Hey, Grandmother. Hi.
Hello, darling.
Oh, you must be worried, huh?
I'll just be very grateful when my husband gets a clean bill of health.
You know, everyone seems to be just so worried about something these days. Father's election, Paul's trial, Margot's brother going to Montega.
Well, there are times when we just have to have faith that everything's going to turn out all right.
Yes, Cynthia. All right, send her in. Hello, Bianca. I think you owe me an apology for the threats you made yesterday.
I'm sorry, Senor Tonio, but I meant what I said. I wanted to know if there was some more news from Montega.
Yes, I have good news. My contact, Carlo, tells me that the freedom fighters have staged a counterattack in the capital. Your brother, Pedro, is said to be among them. Once our comrades are successful, I intend to go to Montega personally, and one of my first priorities will be to find your brother. But I need your word that you won't say anything about Sierra's ring. You would needlessly distress a lot of people, especially now that Craig and Lucinda are in Montega and will probably find Sierra and bring her home with them. Do I have your word?
All right, Tony. Did you deliberately set Craig up with a pilot who was going to abandon him in Montega?
Senora Hughes, I'm so sorry, but I've made a terrible mistake.
Bianca.
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
What mistake, Bianca?
Bianca feels responsible because of all that's happening in Montega.
Oh, please. Craig's got a mind of his own. I want to know, why did the pilot leave Craig in Montega?
It was probably unsafe to leave the plane on the ground.
Give me his name and number in Miami.
I only have a code name for him, and the phone is not listed for security.
Oh, so what happens to Craig when he finds Lucinda and he wants to leave Montega? Huh?
I think you're forgetting that they're searching for Sierra as well. The fighting will be over soon, and we'll see them, I hope. They knew what they were getting into.
Well, I'm not the only one at your mercy, Tonio, for news.
Craig's down in Montega on his own now. His pilot deserted him.
And he only has Sierra's wedding ring to go on.
You know, I always wondered about that ring. How did you get hold of it?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that information.
I have to get back to the castle now. I hope that they get back safely. Goodbye.
Why is it that that little girl is always so nervous around you, Tonio?
Because her brother is fighting in the resistance. It's a very bad time for her. Yes, Cynthia.
You think?
All right, I'll take it. Excuse me. You'll have to excuse me
I don't know
now.
why I ever bothered to come here for your cooperation.
Yeah, well, what else are we going to do?
Yeah?
Yes, Brock, I have that information you wanted on Harper Restaurant Supplies. I'm sorry. Do you want the complete financial breakdown?
Yes, let me have everything you've got.
All right. Harper Restaurant Supplies is a subdivision of Harper Industries. It's a large conglomerate, very much like your own business, still family operated. They seem to confine most of their activities to Wisconsin and have no inclination to move into the Illinois market. So I can't see how there'd be any competition for your own restaurant supply division. Is that what you wanted to know?
Exactly. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch. Gotcha, Papa.
It's good to be up against a tough opponent like Jessica Griffin. She makes the proceedings a little more interesting.
Yeah, we won't get out of here till Christmas at this rate.
How long's the break? 10 minutes. Hey, Tom.
Jason,
How are you?
It's all right. Fine, thanks.
I don't understand. Why did you ask us to excuse that last juror after they accepted him?
Because I felt he was biased against you.
Why is Tom talking to those guys?
Well, Tom is still part of the prosecution, even though he disqualified himself from the case.
So Tom is going to try to help them convict me?
No, Tom is going to do his job, which is to see that justice is done.
I'm glad you stopped by, Tom. You can expedite getting some material from the Oakdale PD for exhibits during the trial.
What can I do?
I need the contents of Stenbeck's briefcase, a copy of his journal, and a complete lab analysis of whatever clogged Emily Stewart's bathroom sink.
Sure, I'll see to that.
Hey, listen, I just saw the recent polls. Looks like Sturgis is climbing right down your back.
Yeah, well, I have more confidence in the voters than I do the polls.
Excuse me?
Come on.
Jessica.
Yes.
Excuse me. I'd like to discuss something with you before we go back.
Sure. Excuse me, Paul.
My dear grandson, you don't really know me. Your mother has seen to that. But I know a great deal about you from my son. James was very proud of you. He loved you very much. I hope someday you'll come visit his grave in Sweden. Your mother might not understand why I'm writing to you. She never liked me, I'm afraid. It might be better not to show her this letter, as it would only upset her to be reminded of James. You and I know there was another side to him. A side that would forgive you and wish you the best in life, as I do. Love and affection, your grandmother.
So I thought if I could just get through the trial, then that would be the end of James. But then Paul got this letter from James's mother, Greta Aldrin.
So what did she say?
I don't really know. Paul was very vague about it, and then he claimed that he threw it away.
What do you mean he claimed? Why wouldn't you believe him?
Greta's a very devious, spiteful woman, and she never forgave me for divorcing her son, and now Paul is her only link to James.
Well, but I mean, she can't accomplish much in a couple of letters.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You know, what I'm really worried about, Kim, is Emily. She's got this big influence over Paul, and he just seems to turn to her for everything.
Well, honey, I think that's kind of natural, considering everything they've been through together. Although I have to admit, I know how you feel. Andy and Julie were over here for lunch, and it really made me feel like a third wheel.
I don't know how you're doing that.
I give myself a C+. I tell you the truth, in a funny way, having Duke around helps me keep things in perspective. And I have to work so hard to communicate with Andy. It's very nice to be able just to say whatever I want to without thinking twice about it.
Well, Kim, there's a big difference there. Duke's not your son.
I'll say he's not. But he's beginning to feel like family. And I think he's as concerned about Andy and Julie as I am. So, what's the latest word from Kentucky?
Oh, Hal called last night. Told me that his father won't go to the hospital, won't take his medication, won't listen to his own daughter, and so Hal has decided to stay with him, where, among other things, there's no telephone.
Oh. Well, I wonder if Hal has told him that Adam is his grandson.
Shoot, Caleb. To me, like you're pretty much holding it in the road.
Well, except that your farm's still in the red.
Well, crying out loud, what do you expect? We had that spring drought. Now we got too much rain. Price of corn going up and down like a yo-yo. You gotta take a long view, son. 3 or 4 seasons, we'll have her on an even keel. You're doing a good job. Just hang in there.
Thanks.
It's getting chilly out there. Wow.
Let me get that.
Oh, that's okay. I'm fine. Thank you. Caleb Snyder, get this jacket off my counter and hang it up, please.
Emma, would you mind explaining to me why you have to be so all-fired independent? I mean, what's wrong with sharing the load?
Well, there's nothing wrong with sharing the load, but I can handle this. I mean,
Well,
just don't
let me
take
get
over
your
the
jacket
reins.
here.
I got my jacket.
Let me help you.
On that note, I think I will go back into town. I have to pay the mortgage payment at the bank. And, Mama, at the risk of getting into the middle of all of this, I think that Cal has the right idea.
Tell her, Caleb.
I mean, what?
You know, I'm afraid I'm confused. I'm getting some mixed signals here. I didn't think you were that sort of a woman.
What sort of a woman is that?
Well, the sort of woman that would toy with a man's affections the way you've been doing. I mean, coming over to my house and staying all night and then letting me know that you got no intention of any kind of commitment.
Well, I'm not that sort of woman, and I didn't do that.
Well, now, to me, commitment means for keeps, and for keeps means marriage.
Well, now, Mr. Strickland, weren't you the person who gave me that long-winded conversation about not wanting to become too domesticated?
What I meant by that was don't expect me home at 6 every night for supper.
Oh.
Well, you can understand that. Anyway, I want a life that's full of surprises, but I want you to go through those surprises with me. Remember, I promised you one hell of a good time.
Yes, I remember.
Well, then what's wrong with getting hitched?
Because I don't want you to turn around in a month or a year and feel trapped.
Oh, now...
No, Cal. We are both used to living on our own, and we're both very stubborn and very set in our ways. We are. And still, there are a lot of things that we need to learn about each other. Besides, you might stop serenading me on that guitar of yours once you put that ring on my finger. Might not be as romantic.
You know the meaning of fat chance? Well, if you want romance, I'll give you more romance than any girl ever had.
Anyway, what the subpoena means is that we're going to have to postpone our trip to the Dominican Republic.
I don't like talking about it here.
No, it's all right. I've checked the place out. We can talk here fine. In the meantime, what we're going to have to do is convince Papa that we've come to terms in our marriage.
How much longer can we keep this up?
Well, we're going to have to keep it up until the court case is over at least. But hey, we're going to be free.
We're never going to be free. Philip's too powerful.
Will you stop that, please?
I'm sorry, Brock. I am nervous.
All right, look, I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize. I'm nervous, too, but we just have to do this. Look, I think we should go up to Wisconsin like we've planned to keep the act up.
You know, sometimes I think I'm almost as afraid of my own father as I am of Philip.
I know. Well, we're not going to let a little fear stop us, right?
Oh.
Trust me. Come on. I know it's crazy.
Oh, excuse us. I just wanted to show Greg his papa's office. Here we go, son. You know, one day, this is going to be yours.
Hi.
Hello.
Did Brock call while I was at the bank?
No, he hasn't.
Hi. Hi, Emily. Sorry I let myself in. There was no one in the reception room. I just came by to let you know what's going on with Craig. The pilot dropped him off in Montega and then turned back around and went to Miami.
What? Now, why would he do that? Tonio's got to be behind us.
Well, actually, Margot and I went to his office and we couldn't get anything out of him, so...
Oh, great.
Want me to beat him up for you guys?
Sean, go back to work.
Antonio fights dirty. You don't want to mess with him.
It's okay, I'll wear old clothes. Excuse me, I have to go read the phone book or something.
Actually, I gotta go too. I'm late.
Wait, Ellie. What? Can I talk to you, please? I feel very funny asking you this, but you just know Brock a lot longer than I do, and he's been acting kind of strange lately.
In what way?
Well, he's so private about his life in Chicago, and now he asked me not to call him at the office.
I'm not real clear. What do you want from
Well,
me?
look, you came to my condo that morning, and you said that there was something that I should know about Brock and his life. What was it?
Well...
Wait a second, please. Hello, Montgomery and Associates. Brock! Well, why would they subpoena you?
I'm sorry I haven't been able to spend much time with you lately.
Well, got a lot on your mind.
I just feel I have to hold a great part of my life. Well, until I know how my life is. I don't expect you to do the same, though.
I'm not going anywhere.
Is Dan all right?
Mom, there's nothing to worry about.
I hate it when doctors say that, especially my own son. Oh, Dan.
Hey, I'm
Are
fine.
you sure?
It's just stress. He's going to have to slow down a bit.
Ooh, that's going to be hard for him.
How did it go this morning with John?
It's all right. He just needed to talk about Lucinda.
Kind of puts Susan in a tough spot, doesn't it?
I'm sure she can take care of herself. Actually, the one I'm really concerned about is Barbara. She stopped by this morning, and I really put my foot in it. I didn't realize that Hal hadn't told her that he was going to tell his father about Adam.
So, Margot, when did you decide that Hal should tell his father about Adam?
I didn't decide anything. Hal asked if he could, and I said yes. Didn't he tell you?
No, he did not, but I'm sure that you planted the seed in his head. You do anything you can to strengthen your ties with him, don't you?
I know, Barbara. Why don't you stop thinking about yourself for a change and start thinking about Hal? His father is dying, and it's important to Hal that he be able to tell his father that he has a grandson.
Thanks to you, which you keep gloating over.
I don't gloat. It's just a fact, Barbara.
Well, enjoy your superiority while you can, Margot, because once Hal and I have a child of our own, things will be very different.
Oh, God, are you going to turn this into a competition about whose child he loves more?
Tom, I'm awfully glad that you can share your wife, but I'll be damned if I'm going to share my husband.
Hold me back. Don't me. It's a good thing you walked in here just now, because I'm telling you, I was this far away. If she didn't have a trial coming after Paul, I was going to let her have it. Let her.
Okay, we're not going to take a break for lunch just yet. We're going to forge ahead and try to get at least one or two of these jurors set, but you don't have to stick around. Why don't you...
No, I'm staying. I'm staying here, Jess.
All right, Paul, it's up to you, but I really advise against it. The jurors can pick up on your anxiety and mistake it for, well, for something else. Benedict, too.
Interesting theory. Emily Stewart, mistress to two powerful, clever criminals, Stenbeck and Lombard.
Stenbeck and the young woman hiding something, some criminal activity of some sort, perhaps. I'll find out what it is if I have to turn the courtroom upside down. This trial may be what finally hangs Brock Lombard.
I need to call the office before we start again.
Okay, I'll get a drink and meet you inside.
Okay.
Paul? I can see you don't remember me. I'm your grandmother, Greta Aldrin.
Oh, did your mom tell you that we're going to go up to Wisconsin to see Grandma and Grandpa at their summer house?
Yeah, Greg seems right at home in your office.
Well, we should get going. We want to be ready to leave as soon as Daddy gets
Okay,
home.
pal.
Okay. Thanks for the tour, Grandma. Bye.
You're welcome, son.
Oh, don't.
Here's your plane, Marjorie.
Well, I hope a few days away will help with Marjorie's tension. What are you going to do about the Harper situation in the meantime?
I've checked out the Harper thing thoroughly, Papa. They're not strong enough to be of any threat to us in any of our territory. So we're going to handle them financially. Legal and neat.
I guess I was misinformed.
I guess so.
Well, that's good. I have another problem here that needs your immediate attention. This subpoena makes it very clear that Benedict is going to use Emily Stewart to get to you.
So what if he does? Emily Stewart doesn't know anything that could be a problem for us.
Yeah, but Ellie Snyder does. She lied to the cops to cover for you. So for Benedict, she's fair game.
So what are you suggesting?
It's no time for sentimentality, Brock. Either you're willing and able to protect the family from all threats, or you're not.
Yep. Some papers from Mr. Benedict. Do you happen to know what his strategy's going to be?
He hasn't breathed a word. He's
Yeah,
very
they have to know, and I'm going to make sure they find out.
Now, sweetheart, I'll decide what to tell my subordinates. This police station is my concern, not yours.
You are my concern, and Margot's family.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just a little run down and tired.
His cholesterol is sky high from eating too many junk food lunches and too much coffee and not getting any kind of exercise. And his blood pressure is going through the roof, too.
Listen to her, Mac. I think you should take good care of yourself.
If you won't consider yourself, consider me. I'm not at all interested in becoming a widow again.
All right, I'll tell you what. If there's nothing here that needs my immediate attention, we'll go down to the coffee shop and I'll have a health salad, all right? Make you feel better?
It will be a beginning.
Why don't you get me a health salad, too, okay? We'll look out for each other.
You got it.
Tofu.
I hope you take care of yourself, because I don't know what I'd do without you.
I do take care of myself.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, sorry. Any news of Craig?
No. I need to talk to you about something. Do you have any idea why Brock was subpoenaed for Paul's trial?
No, I don't. Why does it interest you, Ellie?
Well, excuse me.
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Detective Hughes. Craig? Oh, my God. Craig, is that you?
Stay tuned for Guiding Light, next on most of these CBS stations. Handbags and Belts by Oscar de la Renta. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns. This is